What is up? It's Dakota Layden here from Destination Fear, and you are listening to the Paranormally Zone.
A ghostly apparition in the dark of night.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Hey there, fellow zoners. You are in the Paranormally Zone, your weekly dose of all things paranormal, strange, and mysterious. My name is Patrick Koffenberg, and I'm joined, as always, by my co-host with the ghosts, the paranormal poster boy himself, the man who pulled his monkey out of hibernation, Mr. Michael Carbno. There it is. There it is.
Mike's monkey. That funky monkey.
His funky,
However that goes.
creepy ass monkey is just leering over Mike's left shoulder, fangs protruding. I don't know.
It's rotting skin.
Yes, it's half rotted.
It's a zombie monkey.
There, that makes a lot of sense.
Zombie monkey.
Zombie monkey with
Yes.
symbols. So that's
Yeah, I actually had an inquiry about this monkey the other day. I belong to a Facebook page about Great Pyrenees, since we are the happy family members of one now. And one of the people on there, I had a picture that I posted on there, and you could see my podcast desk, and you could see the monkey and all my other stuff in the background. And this person, she said, I must ask about your monkey. You must tell me, or something like that. So I explained the whole thing about, that's my podcast. I got all its collectibles and everything. And then she comes back with, well, how can I find your podcast? I would like to listen. So that was pretty awesome.
well, that's the most important part. Hell
Absolutely.
yeah.
So I told her where we could be found and what we do with that dose of ridiculous humor.
And you said, go search the Alternate Route podcast, didn't you?
Well, actually, I said Nonsensicast.
Okay,
Yeah.
you went all the way back to Nonsensicast Radio.
Yeah, that.
All right.
Yeah, that would get us nowhere. Yeah, but I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, for those new listeners out there, believe it or not, we do get new listeners now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah, those references were to our prior names. Nonsensecast Radio was really crazy, really fun. We had our first couple celebrity interviews from celebrities from the paranormal world as Nonsensecast Radio, Dustin Perry and Ron Moorhead, and then we're like, you know what? We're going to switch the name, and we were the Alternate Route Podcast forever until we realized, you know what? We focus on the paranormal, and if people are scrolling through thumbnails of podcasts and they're trying to figure out what the podcast is all about simply by judging the title.
Yeah.
Wah, 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 wah.
Well, it would be great for something that it would, pertain to more, like there may have been people that have seen our name at that time and thought, whoa, an alternative lifestyle podcast.
Well,
which can mean anything.
Well, or a podcast about maps.
Yes. Map questing.
Yes, exactly.
The art of Lewis and Clark.
Hey, very nice. Very nice. But,
Mm-hmm.
woe is us. No, none. It didn't mean any of that. We were not a podcast focusing on maps. Maybe there's something there. I don't know. But, anywho, for the last year and a month, Mike, we have been the Paranormally zone, and we're growing by leaps and bounds. And it's been
See, I
over a
can't
year
keep
now.
track.
Oh, Mike
Can't keep track of that stuff. I bumped my mute.
Oh, you bumped
You
your
ought not
mute.
want to bump your mute when you're in the middle of a sentence.
Don't mutes live underground? No, that's a newt.
They live in the back of caves with a cowl.
Well,
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I'm not saying anything against mutes. Please, dear God, no.
Oh no, I was attempting a bad joke where I was screwing it up between a newt and a mute.
Oh, a newt.
Yes.
Okay, well, they definitely live in the back of a cave.
Well, one thing that I think is safe to say, and we're not making fun of anybody, but one criteria, if you want to host your own podcast, don't be a mute, because that probably won't work that well.
No,
hey,
it
good
will
luck.
not.
Good luck to you. There are such things as subtitles, and hell, who knows? That could be a whole new genre waiting to explode. We want credit for it if it does explode.
Yeah,
we just
we don't have much to give credit or get credit for.
Mike keeps
the way
fondling his mic a lot.
I know, it's just like it's getting like your mic stand. It's just everything's loose and it flops one way or the other.
Like our bodies.
It's kind of then you can see the bulbous part at the end where it's kind of heavy.
Like our bodies.
On the microphone, and then it flops to the left or to the right. Sometimes it'll just, it'll be straight, but not all the time. It just,
I know. I got you, man. I understand. Now I'm worried that we offended mutes.
Yeah. I just think I offended people that use large bulbous microphones, actually.
No. Now, if you're offended by that, then you just need to stop. That's
right.
Find something else to be offended by.
So anyway,
friends. This is the Paranormally Zone, but you figured that out already. Thank you very much for tuning in, and a big hi and how are you to new listeners, and a big hi and how are you
absolutely
to long-time listeners. We love all you guys. Let's get started here. If you haven't figured it out already, this is not our true crime episode. Sorry.
Yeah, well, we've been talking about doing it for what, 4 or 5 months now, and we just haven't gotten to it.
And the worst part
keep putting it off.
The worst part is that I made you promise on air last week that we were going to finally do this true crime episode.
Yeah.
The return to our true crime series. So if you want to blame me, go ahead, because I made Mike promise, and now I'm breaking Mike's promise on behalf of him.
Oh, no, I will still promise whenever you come up with your end of the deal, I will hold on to mine.
All right. That's fair. That's fair. But this one is this is definitely kind of a continuation of last week's episode, not necessarily as far as we're talking, portals to the paranormal again, but what sparked the idea of portals to the paranormal, those darn crazy, weird, wacky EVPs that we've been really heavily focusing on this last couple of weeks. Kind of these life-changing EVPs, Mike.
It's like this 16-year-old EVP that has been, it's like it's been magically added to just over the years.
Well, I've been as longtime listeners know, dingy ding 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 ding. We do have a Patreon account where we have just exclusive episodes and material content, both audio and video, of all things paranormal. Weird, wacky, wild, fun episodes, stuff that we haven't covered on the flagship podcast. Just a lot of fun, unique stuff, including, like I said, all of our audio and video from our paranormal investigations, our very amateur paranormal investigations, and our captures. And those have been available exclusively on the Patreon page. But, this was going to be a Patreon exclusive episode, but nay, as per usual, I, as in Patrick, changed my mind at the last minute. Are you tired of me doing that, Mike, by the way?
I just keep an open mind. My mind is about as open as yours is, so about everything.
That's very, very true. I think there's a hint of sarcasm in that.
I just take it as it comes, and if you sometime say at the last minute, well, I can't do it tonight. Hey, I've done that.
Well, I gotcha.
We even had to postpone. I think, what was it, Michelle Belanger, because
that's right.
My dog died that one time.
Yeah, that was a pretty that was a tragic reason to postpone an interview. But being the awesome person that Michelle is, she totally understood and rescheduled.
Awesome guest, and somebody just Very knowledgeable.
And if you're a fan, that interview is available on the Patreon page, along with all of our other paranormal celeb interviews from our Alternate Route podcast days and video chats from our Paranormally Zone interviews. Although I have decided to slowly begin the process, Mike, of posting our video chats on the tube of you, and we're going to see how that goes. Because hell,
Yeah, I've been ready.
for some reason
I'm
we
waiting.
have, for some reason we do have, subscribers on YouTube. Thank you very
Well,
much.
just think what more we could give them.
Yeah, so we're going to start adding video to YouTube, even if it's just like 2-minute clips of Mike in his bathtub or something like that. I have no idea.
I cover with a washcloth. Don't worry.
And lots of bubbles, lots and lots of bubbles.
Don't play it.
All I can see, I can just picture your tub now, just totally filled with bubbles, and all you see are your glasses on the very top of the bubbles.
And a scally floating on top of the bubbles. Actually, we'll see none of it because I have no tub.
Yeah, well, hey, Mike, come on.
A very old shower.
Play along with it here, my friend.
Yeah, well-
Play along with it here.
Yes. All right. My tub sucks because I drowned in it in bubbles.
There, that's better. That's better. So, anywho, no, we do not have footage of Mike in a tub or a shower or anything for that matter, where he's barely clothed. Thank God. And same goes for me. Although I did joke that maybe we should start posting raunchy photos of ourselves.
Oh, jeez. All I got to do is just sit in a chair and post a picture of that, and that's fine.
And again, I kid. We would never,
Yeah.
ever do shit like that.
No.
But it is really cool, fun, exclusive stuff. Anywho, making a full circle back to the reason I brought that up is because tonight we're going to share those two particular EVPs that have really, in all sincerity and all seriousness, have really made me personally rethink one of them in particular. And I still get kind of the good willies, the good heebie-jeebies when I think about
And
this.
a couple of Nelsons on the side.
A little Willie, a couple Nelsons. Yeah, you know how that goes. So, yeah, I hope you guys stick around and enjoy this because we're going to play them. We're going to talk about them. We're going to break it down. And before you know it, we'll be done. So,
And I swear the more lame that my humor gets, I will stop.
well, no, don't do that. Just keep going with it, man. That's part of your charm.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, if I can have any kind of charm, I guess the charm of humor will do.
The charm of humor, and if anything, maybe we'll take a screenshot and post a picture of your creepy ass monkey that you got staring.
Yeah,
at you.
got it over my left shoulder.
Ugh. Every now and
Yes.
if I get into deep thoughts and I'm just really focusing on on what we're talking about, and I just kind of briefly glance down for a nanosecond, I'm like, what the hell is? No, wait, it's just your zombie monkey.
Yeah.
Glaring, wickedly glaring. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's funky.
Yeah, that's a funky monkey. That's for sure, man. Well, Mike, let's begin, shall we?
Yeah.
If you listened to last week, we won't bore you again with the long version of the story, but these EVPs that we're talking about here were recorded about 16, 17 years ago at Mike's very haunted house in Park Rapids, Minnesota.
It was. That was a known fact.
Oh, man. And with the tragic story of Debbie and her tragic death occurred in that house, on that property, I should say. And, well, as we discussed last week, the possibility that Mike's house was a flippin' portal. I mean, there was this.
Yeah.
Again, we're not going to bore you if you haven't listened to last week's episode.
It was a good conversation.
It was a great conversation. We had a good time for sure, and we've got some good feedback on that episode as well, so we appreciate that. Well, should we play them? Should we just dive deep into these things and
absolutely dive deep and
all right.
Yeah.
So I uploaded just the audio clips that we need. We're going to focus on the press play EVP, which for years has been up in the air. We do not know. Well, I should say I was the one who was always kind of poo-pooing it.
Source of great contention with Patrick.
Now, I have the long version here. I have the 59-second clip where you hear us. You hear you, myself, and our two friends with us And then, towards the end, you hear me tell you casually, because you're looking at the recorder, you're grabbing the recorder, and I say press play. And then you hear Mike jostling with the recorder. And of course, obviously this infamous audio. That one is right there.
Yeah. Well, I was holding the recorder down, and it was by my stomach.
It was not your damn stomach.
It must have been.
It was not your stomach. That was you. It was you doing something guttural with your mouth.
It was a very large case of Borborygmi.
This was not.
Look up that word. It's a real word.
Listeners, take a good, close listen. Does this sound like something that comes from the gut or from the throat? I mean, what do you think?
Oh, geez. It sounded like it came from hell itself.
I don't know, but I love it though. It always made me laugh, so I had to isolate it. But anyways, on that 59-second clip, you'll hear that right before this anomaly that was picked up. And when I was re-listening to it the next day, re-listening to the recordings, I immediately reacted. I was like, "Holy shit, what is that?" And I called up Mike and I told him I think I captured something cool. Edited the clip, sent you the clip. You listened to it. You were excited about it, but your then significant other immediately she said what?
That it was Patrick.
Right. And then Mike relayed that possibility to me. Again, which
I've regretted for probably just about 17 years now.
And the thing is, it's I've actually achieved the ability to kind of mimic this voice just because I've heard it so many times now, and I'm not tooting my horn by any means and stuff, but some maybe I'll share them someday on a Patreon episode. That'd be hilariously terrible. Yeah. Some actors and stuff like that I can kind of mimic fairly well. And so listening to this, I'm like, God dang it, why did she have to tell me this? Because now this little bit of doubt has been instilled in my brain, and so I cannot think of it as any other thing other than myself. Then fast forward to re-listening to the same clip. Well, another clip, actually, a 22-minute long clip. And at the very beginning of that clip, this was done during the same night, same locale. Another audio anomaly was picked up. That sounds just like this flipping thing. And that one I know was not me.
Yeah, there's no way that was you. Yeah.
So again,
like we talked before, it's like you could tell it was coming from a different location in the kitchen than where we were.
Right.
Yeah. So
yep. After much discussion and thought, we decided, we love our listeners. We're going to start sharing these two here. We want to get your guys' feedback, your thoughts on these two clips. All right. I'm going to play the short clip first.
All right. So you know what you got to do that.
Of the press play. What do I
You have to press play.
Oh, very good, Mike. Very, very good. Yes. I mean, this was, I agree with you.
Yes.
There you go. Because it does kind of sound like you're saying, yeah.
Yep.
Like Jabba the Hutt version of yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Let's see here.
I was doing a Zach Baggins. I was possessed. That's what it is.
Mike was engorged by the spirits.
I got demons running all through me.
Oh, man alive.
Punched the wall a few times.
And Mike immediately ripped off his shirt and demanded that I film him. And
flexing my tattoos.
You don't have a tattoo, right? You don't have tattoos.
No, I have plans someday when I start making $1 or $2.
True.
I do have some good plans. That I would like to.
I'm telling you, when you do get one, they're addictive, Mike. It's been several years since I've had my last one, and I've been dying to get another one. But again, not on the top of the priority list right now. So the short edited version of Press Play. Again, setting it up, and you'll hear the long clip here shortly. Mike's fiddling with his recorder. I casually say press play, and then when you hear Mike fiddling with it, you hear another.
I was fumbling with those things. It's like trying to get what's record, what's forward, what's reverse, what is this? This is volume. I don't know what's this.
I know.
Anyway, go ahead.
Mike struggles a bit. So then we hear this audio anomaly. So, yes, right away you hear this, but that's not what we're looking at, because this is Mike's throat. That's not a ghostly anomaly by any means. But listen right after that.
Oh, I got it.
Okay, that's the short version. And you could hear that still, right, Mike? Mike
Not
said,
very well.
well, you better turn your damn volume up because you need to be able to hear this.
No, I can hear it volume wise perfect. It's just
Okay.
Yeah.
So, this is the long 59-second clip of it. So press your headphones to your ears, Mike, so you can get a good listen here, okay?
Okay.
So this one, I want to play this 59-second one just so you can hear all of us talking. You can hear our voices, you can hear the levels of our voices, and you'll hear me say press play normally, and then something chimes in as if it were kind of mimicking what I just said. So here we go. Bear with us, it's 59 seconds.
Reflective source, so there's like no, even if I did hit it out.
Well, let me try and flash the light on it.
Yeah, what does it look like? How far away does it really?
See that?
It's not very.
The microphone doesn't even reflect at all.
No, it has to be somebody was coming. Now somebody maybe come here as that goes up to the same time. Come here and hold that down.
Is there someone in here? I'm moving the microphone. And someone in here who has been walking past the microphone, walking past the light. Please do it again.
Oh, sorry. Ouch, you kicked me.
Slide it back.
Now, what do you inflict when you walk in front of it like it normally does? Yeah, because there's, okay.
Now, let's pause this and see what that
Yeah, pause it. And
flash looks like from there. Oh, I gotta stop.
So, again, that was 59 seconds. We apologize for that. It's a little hard to hear me in the background say press play in my normal voice, but then the other one pops in loud and clear.
Yeah, very clear.
And I'll just play this real quick again. So
Oh, I got.
now the press play one is what's, I don't know. When in doubt, throw it out. That's what I've always been about for the hey, that rhymed. For 16 years, but Mike, I hope, God dang it, you can hear this stuff. We were struggling with Mike listening to the audio earlier today, so. But no frets. He has heard these before.
Yeah, I can pretend that I hear him if I can't, and then it'll still work.
Shh, you're giving away our secrets.
Oh no, I haven't had to really do that, so hopefully I won't this time.
Yeah, and we're kidding, by the way. But
Yeah,
what, if anything, the one thing that's been proven is that Mike is a liar because he told me earlier you could hear everything perfectly fine, and now when we're in the middle of recording the episode, he's sitting there looking at me, shaking his head, going, "I can't hear it."
actually, I can hear it, and when I go to bed, I lay there and I giggle to myself because of what I have done.
Can you hear this at all, Mike? Before I play the new EVP, well, the new EVP, at the very beginning of a 3-hour clip that I have a couple of hours and hours of clips that Mike's dog set off the recorder, but no, I kid, I jest. Back in the day when you were like when you would go to bed, you'd leave the recorder going for 3, 4, or 5 hours, whatever.
Right, correct.
And this one, Mike had to do a little intro. He had to tell everybody who may listen in the future where he was and what was all going on. And then at the very end, he had to throw in a little teaser directed at me. So I wanted to play this 30-second.
That's right. I can't. I remember doing something. I can't remember what it was.
Well, you got to listen. So I hope you can frickin' hear this.
I hope so. All right, I'm ready.
All right, maybe mute your mic. Does that affect your hearing? Okay. Tell me right away if you can hear it. Okay, Mike. All right, 3, 2, 1. This isn't a paranormal clip. I'm doing this just so Mike can laugh. Hopefully, he can hear it and then he'll laugh. Okay, I have this listed as Mike's recording intro plus teasing me is what I labeled it as. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and play right now, and play, and it's not playing. Here we go.
Okay, starting with the new recording, new batteries, going to bed now,
anything you hear after this should be something other than Pam and I, or the cats. It's in probably what was Debbie's bedroom. Got the got the high 8 going, plus your recorder. And so listen from here and see what happens. One more thing for you, Pat. Press play. Just kidding.
Asshole. See? You were going
Well,
you were going along with the joke as well back in the day.
yeah.
Teasing me, mocking
Well,
me.
it was fun for a little bit, but
See, it sounded like even you were doubting the authenticity of the press play anomaly.
Well, I was easily swayed.
Easily
No,
swayed.
I didn't always have that complete doubt in my mind. I really didn't. But the worst part about that, what I just said there, was I called you Pat.
Yes, you did.
and that made me cringe just when I just heard that, because that's just something that's not really something you want to do.
What the hell was that all about, man? That was
So yeah.
That's an anomaly in itself. My gosh. But anyways, I wanted to play that. And Mike was laughing. His mic was muted there, so I think I did hit the giggle spot for him. So
And I heard it all perfect. So yeah.
So now, without further, just so you guys can compare, this is the press play anomaly again.
Oh, I got it.
And now this new one, again, discovered a couple weeks ago. It's right at the beginning of the clip. You hear me say, watch that video. And I'm talking to Mike. Then immediately after you hear me say, watch that video, something chimes in. And then you hear kind of Mike pop in. Well, here we go.
I know. He's giving half of that the last, 2 or 3 years. And deservedly so.
Immediately after that, you hear something chime in. I'm playing it again.
I know. He's giving half of that the last, 2 or 3 years. And deservedly so.
It actually is speaking over Mike immediately after I speak. And when I heard that the other day, it seemed clear as day that it was saying, watch that, just because I had just said, watch that video. And this doesn't, to me, Mike, it doesn't even sound like it's coming from the same location of wherever the hell I was standing at this point. It's different sounding. It sounds metallic. It sounds tinny. I don't know how else to describe it. I'll play it one more time here.
I know. He's giving half of that the last, 2 or 3 years. And deservedly so.
It just blows me away. I don't know what else to describe that is other than unexplainable.
Yeah. And that I couldn't hear enough of it. It kept on kind of popping out.
Well, right, Mike, I'm going to play it one more time because I just got it just says that our internet connection was unstable, so maybe that's why you
see
weren't
what
hearing.
happens. Yeah.
So bear with us, listeners. I'm going to play it one more time. Hopefully Mike can hear it. Again, Mike, it's immediately right after you hear me speak. I mean, you know this.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Yep.
I know. He's giving half of that the last, 2 or 3 years. And deservedly so.
And it's just loud. It's very, very, very loud. That's the thing that's another thing that blows me away. So, again, quickly for comparison.
Oh, I got it.
There's press play, and then now this guy.
I know. He's giving half of that the last, 2 or 3 years. And deservedly so.
It sounds like the same source.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how else to describe it or what else to say about it, Mike.
Well, it's a definite EVP, though. I totally believe that. I mean, whatever doubt that I did have before, for whatever reason, I mean, I'm convinced, it's there.
And when I first sent you that clip, did you pick it up right away when you were able to hear it in a better situation? Like
when I was trying to figure out just the whole layout of what I was listening to, but then when I caught it, and then it was just clear from there, the whole thing.
Yeah,
and it wasn't because it was suggested to me or anything. I actually listened hard to make sure I was hearing what was said and when it was said. So yeah. I don't know, man. It kind of, like I said, all joking aside, it gave me kind of the heebie-jeebies, but in a good way. Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, we're just playing devil's advocate here. How could we debunk that, Mike? What could it have been if it wasn't an EVP? It wasn't your cats unless your cats can speak English.
No, and they were so little they weren't even talking it anyway. So
and it was so loud.
No,
well, that's yeah.
That was a joke,
yeah, that.
But anyway, yeah,
that went right over my head. Sorry about that one.
Yeah,
but it's so to me. It's. I hope the listeners can hear it too. It's powerful. It comes across as just right there. I mean, I can feel it in my headphones when that pops through. There's nothing going. We didn't have TVs going. We didn't have a radio going. We didn't have anything. We just had your digital there.
Mm-hmm.
Can you sincerely think of anything, Mike, what that could be?
I can't. It wasn't any one of us that were there. I know that.
No, absolutely.
I mean, any one of us besides you and I, who, the location, the change of location of whatever it was not, in one spot. I mean, it was moving around. I mean, it all fits together as legitimate EVP to me.
And
that's the way we need to keep it. Don't let any of that thick, dark, syrupy doubt fill your brain.
Hey, dark, syrupy doubt. That sounds
it just kind of takes over everything in your mind.
That sounds like a punk rock band name or something.
Yeah, there you go.
We're dark, syrupy doubt. We'll be here all week.
With the taste of maple. Yeah.
And that clip right there is part of a 22, almost 23-minute clip that we have that is just chock full of unexplainable audio clips, including the clear as day, the unbelievable "It's Debbie" pickup, the clip of.
Makes me wonder what else we may have missed out on. It's
with whatever, who knows, because that's only a 22-minute clip. I mean, who knows? I could have erased hours of stuff without even listening to it, assuming nothing was on it or something, and I'm teasing Mike, but we all know that Mike accidentally lost some great audio clip as well. And,
I lost tape that actually, or in video or recording, it was actually had something on it.
Oh, you're talking about the orb one? Are you talking about the orb video?
The what?
Are you talking about the orb video?
Oh, the orb video. Oh, no. I was just talking about recordings, like,
Oh, I see.
The footsteps and everything.
I thought you said video. For some reason, I thought you said video. So I was like, yeah,
I think I did, but,
Well, the thing is, because it wasn't actually ever a video because we weren't recording. But
we didn't even have it on, but we both saw it.
We were both looking through the viewfinder and we saw this awesome orb. And and Mike and I aren't ones who totally buy into every single orb capture as something paranormal, because you just can't do that. 99.9% of them are whatever, dust particles, bugs, anything like that. But this thing, if I remember correctly, was pretty impressive. And it was obvious on the viewfinder, and we didn't see it in real time. But we're like, oh my gosh, we got it! Oh shit, we didn't got it! It wasn't even recorded.
Yeah, I remember that like it was yesterday.
Yeah. So, like I said,
while the people were sitting up in their living room watching TV.
I know the gal was interested, but I think her husband hated that these two weirdos were in his basement.
Yeah, and that's the kind of that's the way he would look at it. I mean, I knew him fairly well, and then but then it wasn't that long after that where I actually moved into that house.
That is correct, sir. You are correct. Where you had more activity. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh man, but that 22-minute clip, that's available on Patreon as well. I've counted not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 audio anomalies that are picked up on that 22-minute clip. Not all of them spoken words. We have the It's Debbie Clear as Day spoken words. We have, I think this one, What's That spoken words. The press play is on a separate clip, but the other anomalies on that clip are very clear, loud. I can't think of another way to describe it other than like a moan or like a like a not like a mouthed whistle, kind of to like get our attention or something. It's like, I'm over here type thing, and it was
and it was all, even though the one was on a different clip, they were all in a very close period of time. I mean, while we were out in the kitchen.
Absolutely, man, absolutely. Now this one, I believe, pardon us we digress for a little bit. the night that we got the press play stuff is also the night that we took off. You remember doing this? We drove somewhere.
Yep. Out into those woods. They were supposed to be haunted.
And I don't even remember. I don't have any memory of doing any of that because I think we were there for like 5 minutes and realized this was impossible.
Well, we drove down the road and there's a long line of trees on the right, and on the left, not far from the road, there was actually a farm there, I think, and that was kind of throwing things off. And
I see.
And I think, wasn't it like really, really cold?
Yes, absolutely. It was. I was almost going to say it was during the winter time, but I don't think it was that.
Yeah, it was cold, and we were walking down that road, and it was not a good night for it.
No, we didn't have the proper equipment to do.
Right.
We didn't have proper equipment to do outdoor investigating. I mean, there's so much stuff that. What's the word I'm looking for? It really negatively affects whatever you pick up because there's so much outer. What word? I can't think of the word.
Ambient noise.
Not ambient.
I don't know.
Noise.
Background noise.
It's just a
interference.
Mess. Yeah, any of that stuff. I don't know why I can't think of the damn word right now. But Mike, EVPs in general. I know we got to kind of cut this episode short a little bit, but this will be published, obviously. And if you're listening to it, you know that already because, hell, it was published. Your thoughts on EVPs in general, is that something that you take as solid proof of the unknown? Was that something that you would... Is that something that you would play... For instance, would you play the It's Debbie clip for a pseudo skeptic or just a regular old skeptic?
Well, I would, knowing what we know about it, and also knowing at the same time it's not going to make any difference. I mean, if it was on video and you seen the actual spirit of whatever saying it, there would be no convincing a pseudo skeptic about anything.
Oh, I know.
But I would not be afraid to play that to him and say, I know for myself, you just, stick to whatever you believe.
Did you know, Mike, can you pull out of the back of your paranormal head the name of the parapsychologist who popularized, good God, I can't speak. Popularized. Thank you. I am having a mini stroke, so forgive me. I'll be fine, though. Who did that? Popularize the idea of the EVP back in the 1970s. Can you pull that guy's name out of your ass?
That was, it would have been, oh, man. I'm picturing his face. Oh, Hans Holzer.
Very, very good guess, but
no.
But no.
It wasn't the Warrens. And
you could be right with Hans Holzer, but this is described that this man, this parapsychologist, popularized the term EVP.
Okay, so
give up.
Totally different question there. I would say Stan Laurel.
Very good. Ding, ding, ding. You win the prize. No, I would never have got this. Konstantine's Radivi. I don't know how the hell to pronounce the guy's name. That shows you how much I know about him. So
and I thought that, but I thought, no, that's probably not right. So I didn't even bring it up.
And I'm trying to read this flipping article, but of course, as everything is going wacky and weird tonight, my phone froze up. So that's wonderful. And the spirits are messing with us tonight, Mike. The podcast spirits are messing with us a little bit.
Yeah, it has been.
We're forging through here. We wanted to get something out for you guys.
But, EVPs, though, and unless you're going to go off in another tangent, in another direction, I was just going to say, there's so many levels of EVPs. We got the Class A EVP that, that's where you can really, investigate that or figure it out, rationalize it or whatever. Just play it through and see if you can debunk it or realize that it has to be just a real EVP.
Yeah.
But then what bothers me is, you see on some shows where they're getting EVPs or what they think is an EVP, and you listen, and there's just no way that I can catch what they're trying to say that it says.
Oh, I hear
it's
you.
just so, it's like, I think a lot of times there are people that really stretch to say, oh yeah, that's an EVP. That's an EVP, or it's saying this or it's saying that, but it's not. It's not, I think.
Well, that's, thank you for bringing that up. That's a very good point, Mike. When I was looking through these audio clips, I found all sorts of stuff that I have labeled with the letters EVP in it, including stuff that one was EVP unknown. I was like, what the hell is that? I didn't even remember. Clicked on it, and it was, it sounds like something, but I can't remember where the hell I recorded it from, and I can't figure out what the hell it was saying, but it sounded like something, but it could, I don't know. It couldn't have been
that old abandoned house by the Dorset Road.
Not that one. No, I don't think we got anything in that place, but there's several stuff that just makes you scratch your head for sure. But again, we keep going back to the It's Debbie, because the It's Debbie for us is our gold mine, man. It's it really is. We can't debunk that. We just can't, and it fits the story. Have you thought at all about what I threw out last week, Mike, about the possibility? I'm not saying I buy into this, but have you thought about it all, about the possibility of whatever said It's Debbie was actually something continuing that mocking tone of the press play and the watch that? Were they mockingly saying that it was
that could be
Debbie?
It's like if you really listen to it close, is it mocking, or it's kind of in a mocking way? It's like being too pleasant, like, it's Debbie.
Yeah.
That
sure.
It's like, so I can see where that could be. There could be some mocking in there.
The It's Debbie recordings sound similar to those, what I was talking about earlier, kind of like the mouth whistling, or the moan type stuff. Those sound very similar to me, and this press play and the watch that sound very similar, but they sound totally different than the It's Debbie one and the other pickups, which again adds, whether you believe us or not, it adds validity to our belief that there were several energies of however you want to call them, entities in that house at that moment, and it was active.
Extremely active. And who knows how many there's too many different strange things going on that there is more than just a couple of entities throughout the time that I lived there. Just so much going on, and sometimes for a month or whatever, it'd be every night. It'd be and then it would slack off, and you wouldn't have anything for for I don't know however long, and then all of a sudden it'd be starting up again, and very interesting.
And for the longest time as well, and we're pounding on the It's Debbie EVP because it is really important to us, and it's huge. We'd love you guys to check it out. Another thing about that I remember thinking of it for the longest time, I was like, that is Debbie. Debbie's saying it's Debbie, in response to like you and Pam, and we're wondering who kept on opening up that door, every damn night at your house. But then I'm like, I think about it, and I'm like, well, that doesn't really make sense. If you were sitting there trying to get someone's attention, wouldn't you say it's me?
But and also it was an adult woman's voice, as far as I'm concerned. Debbie was like what, 4 years old when she
was a child. Yes,
had her accident. Yeah.
And then I remember when we were speaking with Susan Slaughter a couple years ago, and we didn't play her. Did we play her the clip? I don't remember if we did or not. I don't think we did.
We have played that to other
guest
people
interviews.
and other guest celebrities and psychics, I think, even.
And all that is available on the Patreon page. And no, I'm not doing cheap plugs on Patreon, but I guess I am.
It's part of the deal.
Part of the deal. But I guess for some reason, again, maybe it was my ignorance or whatever. For the longest time, I thought that was Debbie, but that just doesn't make sense at all.
No.
When we played that for Susan Slaughter, just describing it to her immediate reaction was her feeling about it was that it was some other spirit answering on behalf of Debbie.
Right. That's what I've always thought.
Okay. You've always thought that. Why do I have that just must be my mushed brain.
Because you're Patrick, and you're just Nobody can be like me, and I'm not going to be like anybody else.
Do I sound like that?
No, I'm just saying you're just an individual.
Do I sound like that? As a podcast host?
That's my mocking.
As a friend? As a confidant? Is that
as
how
a brother even?
Is that how you picture me? Is that how you hear me?
No.
It's like
I hear a semi-normal, half-grown,
semi-normal, half-grown
man boy,
man boy / newt. Yeah. Okay. I got you.
And you might just in parentheses at the very end put twink.
I can see Mike when I can picture what goes on in his mind when he's listening to me talk half the time during these podcasts. He's actually going back to like the old Peanuts cartoon where it's just like,
well, actually, I can easily get my mind into the Wizard of Oz when you're talking, and then
hilarious. That was funny.
I love that scarecrow.
I gotcha. Oh,
got the dance moves.
Anyway, are we done?
I'm done. I'm done mocking you.
Well, thank you. But
there's nothing to mock about you. Just
the ghosts weren't. They were having a good time with me that night, apparently, man.
Yeah, and it was more than one that was having a good time with you. That's for sure.
Yeah, but was it though more than one? Because these two sound so similar to me.
Yeah, they do.
And I know we briefly spoke on it, but I think you made a great point last week, Mike, when I was talking about how particularly the Watch That EVP sounds, so metallic and it sounds different. It's just something sounds off about it, and you made a great point. It's like, well, it's breaking through like that veil, it's kind of like it's being filtered in a weird, different sort of way. Yeah. It's not going to sound normal at all. It's going to,
Great. That's what I think, that electromagnetic, interference or whatever.
Yeah.
And that as the veil gets thinner, then it gets clearer.
I get a vibe and a feeling that whatever was in your house that night was having a lot of fun with us.
Yeah. Nothing malevolent whatsoever. It was just totally, it was all cool. Like,
So do you get it was a good natured tease?
Yeah, there was nothing bad about it or somebody trying to upset you or anything.
No. I mean, nothing ever touched us or anything like that.
No,
or
not a thing. It was just all, it could have been like a couple of more friends hanging out there while we were there.
Great point.
That's
Great
the
point.
kind of feeling, nothing bad. And the whole time I lived there, I wasn't afraid of anything that went on. I just, as loud or whatever was seen or heard or whatever, it just, well, there's something else I can relate to people at work in the morning. Because remember, for every morning for I don't know how long, at times there would be I'd come into the door and people would say, well, what happened last night? And
I remember that. Yeah.
I'd say, hey, I'll tell you,
Yeah. You'll say, well, absolutely nothing, or this.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I remember those days quite fondly. Yeah. That was,
Mike
was quickly known as the ghost guy. And then, we were both.
And the one that couldn't do his job very well, I think, too.
No.
And you would know that, Mr. Inspector back then.
Isn't that just perfect that worked out that way too? It's like
seeing the work that everybody did.
Man, of course, that just adds to my persona as Mr. Perfectionist. Nope, this is wrong. That's wrong.
And you would get so pissed off
Hey.
and frustrated at all the things that you would have to send back. Not just to me, but plenty of people.
Yeah, with particular people who shall go unnamed who refuse to change their ways. And But, anyway, so we got kind of off track there for a little bit. What was I going to ask you? Oh, I know I've asked you this before in the past, but refresh our memories, Mike. As a paranormal poster boy, as the co-host with the ghosts, a man who's...
I'm going to start selling paranormal poster boy.
I kind of like that. Hey, I get a portion of it, though. I get a portion.
Hey, we should really design one. That's another one of our great ideas we need to write down.
Well, just a big picture of your face, right?
I don't know what. Dressed up like Captain America or something.
How about this? How about
That's a joke.
How about just a white sheet with eye holes cut out with headphones on it? And
with the headphones and a scally. The scally's got to be there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I can do that.
Yeah. Yeah, paranormal poster
And
boy.
then kind of like take some I can kind of add or paint on or draw on a beard
That works.
on the front, kind of a slit for the mouth.
Yeah, I like it.
That's an idea. Anyway,
I like it.
we're just going off track again.
No, that's fine. That's fine. This is going to be a special episode, by the way, because it was very spur of the moment. We haven't really done a spur of the moment one for a while, where we're just going to absolutely wing it. But because sometimes
Really,
I was just going to correct myself because because sometimes, believe it or not, we do like 10 minutes of research and then we just go.
yeah. Yeah, they probably aren't our best episodes, but
Hey, sometimes
no, we come out with some pretty good ones after just.
You know what, Mike? We're pretty damn good. We're not tooting our own horn. We're pretty darn good at making it sound like we're more prepped than we actually are. So
Yeah, well,
who knows?
because we have some very minute pockets of knowledge in our brain.
That word, I thought you're bringing up mutes again for some reason. I don't know what I heard there. See, now I'm off track again. What was I going to say? Oh, as a paranormal poster boy, as a man who's led a very haunted life, have you ever been physically touched? Has something physically ever happened to you that you cannot explain? It seems like it's coming from the other side, for lack of a better term, like a better phrase.
It's kind of weird, to say this, but I'm gonna have to think about it because it's something you shouldn't forget.
No, right. I don't think you have.
I have had like something very lightly touching the top of my head, like you feel like there's cobwebs or something.
That's right. Yes, you have told me that. Yeah.
And there was never anything there, and it was in a basement of a house where they had said there was some activity and different things going on, and I kept looking up, and there was nothing. But I'd be walking through that place, and like every minute or a couple minutes or whatever, I'd feel it just on the very top of my head. And actually, it wasn't that long ago where Mary and I were standing here by the podcast desk, and something flew from somewhere. You'll remember this because I know I told you.
Yeah.
Something flew from somewhere and it hit me right on the top of the head, and it sounded like a coin or something fell on the floor, but I couldn't find a coin. We were standing, we looked at each other. It's like, what just happened? And there was nothing there to do that. And it thumped me right on the head. And then my brother, Steve, had reminded me that, remember, Dad, he'd joking around or whatever. He'd say, I'm going to come here and thump you, like he'd, and it was, that's, my brother's kind of been keeping me online with that because it's like, I'll say something. It's like, yeah, that's just like Dad. That's just like Dad. So I had that, and it was pretty interesting.
Then you also had some interesting thing with like your collectibles kept being moved.
Well, I'd be sitting here and they'll fall. I mean, there's some that they're very secure, but they'd fall and land on my desk, and that hasn't happened for a while, but yeah, interesting.
And emphasize, we need to repeat that they are secure. They don't just easily fall.
And if there is one that could be more likely to have that happen, if I bumped it, I would say, well, that's what happened. But yeah, stuff is just popping right off, and it's pretty interesting. Again, very interesting.
Very interesting. We will wrap it up here, Mike. Thanks for making this work. We got it started a little bit later than planned, so we have to cut it a little bit short. Hope everyone enjoyed this. Fairly brief. We're coming up on an hour, so that's not too bad.
Yeah, we don't want to take up too much of your time because there's a lot better things you can probably do than listen to two schlubs.
Well, no, you're right. You're absolutely
a middle-aged man and a older man having fun on the internet. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, that did sound very, very bad. That might just for the sake of prosperity be cut out and put to the outtakes right there.
Yeah.
Two old men having fun online. Ooh.
Put that in the alternate route. Episodes.
Okay, one more time. Then I'm going to play these brief clips. Mike, this is the press play.
Oh, I got it.
One more time.
Oh, I got it.
I'm going to play it one more time because Mike is struggling here. One more time. Press your headphones in, buddy.
Oh,
That's not you.
Yeah.
You just listen, and I know you extremely well. I know your little quirky little voice plays and shit you can do, and that, and that's not. I mean, like you said, you can do that, but it's after how many years of
listening,
hearing it, and having it on your mind. I mean,
yep.
You know, you can. I mean, it is just not you.
And now compare it to the watch that. Again, it pops in immediately after I say watch that video, and then you hear this very loud voice speaking over Mike.
I know. He's given half of that for the last, 2 or 3 years.
and deservedly so.
And one more time.
I know. He's given half of that for the last, 2 or 3 years.
Gosh, that is
Deservedly so.
clear and loud.
Yeah.
Watch that.
I don't know.
Something was trying to talk to us, Mike, or just get our attention, or they were just having fun and didn't realize they were coming through. You know? I don't know.
Well, they knew what they were doing because they're just throwing it at you so hard. So
well, right.
They knew what they were doing. And they probably knew at that time they're going to be messing with this for years.
Oh, no kidding. Now you wonder, well, no, that's a whole nother deep conversation for another episode.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, Mike, thanks for making this work, my friend. I appreciate it. We almost made it to an hour, so that's pretty darn good. I appreciate you, buddy. You have a good night. I hope everyone...
Yeah, you too, everybody.
We hope everyone has a happy, wonderful holiday season. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, safe
happy
travel.
Hanukkah, happy everything.
Yeah.
Christmas, Hanukkah, holidays.
When I was trying to say safe travels, you said happy Hanukkah, and then that made me say safe trafficals. So let me try that again. Safe travels.
Yes.
Happy holidays and a very Merry Christmas. We hope you all get to enjoy it with family and friends, safe and sound. And
yes, celebrating with it in any religion or faith that you have, that because it all fits.
Until next time, buddy, what do our awesome fellow zoners need to do?
As always, peace out.